Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a quick layout of the Okinawa Karate Kaikan and the archives. When you come up from the parking lot, you'll find over here on the left-hand side is the archives location. This is also where the research library is located. And on the far end is the soba shop. So you can go in there and get your bowl of karate soba. You can visit the archives. You can visit the research library. That's a separate building. In the main building here in front of me, which we're going to go into right now, is the actual Kaikan. We're going to walk inside, show you just a little bit of the protocol if you're visiting, the proper way of storing your shoes, and then I'm going to demonstrate buying some tickets if you wanted to rent the Tanren room for training, or if you wanted to rent some weapons if you forgot yours. There's an enormous seminar going on right now with about 200 people. It's very busy in here, it's a little bit loud, and I don't even know if I can find a place to put my shoes, but we're going to make the best of it. So let's go inside. So as we enter, once you reach the edge of the tile, that's shoes off time. Grab your shoes, and if you have room, on most days we do have room, find a foot locker down here, or a shoe locker, I'm sorry. Foot locker's a store. Find a shoe locker, just go ahead and throw your shoes in there, and then I'm going to show you how to buy a ticket for the Kaikan. We found one. Now the trick is, don't forget where you put them and don't take the other person's shoes. Alright, so let's walk over here. Obviously a great big seminar going on right now, a lot of people. So as you enter the Kaikan, if you don't know where to go, come over here to the information counter. The staff here is very polite, they speak English, they can point you in the right direction. What I'm going to show you is how to go buy a ticket to reserve a room or to rent some weapons. So we're going to slip on our shoes here. The Kaikan always leaves some nice Crocs for us. After you just took your shoes off, you can put their nice slippers on. Come on over here. Very common in Japan, very common in Okinawa, is to have a vending machine to buy your product. Maybe you visited a ramen shop and you have to go up here and buy your ticket to give it to the counter. You're going to do the same thing at the Kaikan. Some things are in English, some are not. If you want to reserve the dojo, which is the main training hall, put your yen in here, press the ticket according to your age. The Tanren room, the training room down the hall that has the makiwara and the heavy bags I'll show you, again, 90 yen. That's 90 yen for a 65-year-old person for the entire day. For someone that's an adult or university student, 160 yen for the entire day. Very economical here. Please buy your ticket and head to the room. Again, if you need help, you ask the staff. If you need to borrow weapons, they have bow, sai, tunfa, maybe nunchaku here. Ask the staff, they will help you translate this and get your appropriate ticket. Okay? We're not going to purchase anything at this time because we're just going to show you where it's located, but that's how you go about it. I love that they do that, by the way. Yeah. So after you purchase your ticket, let's say we're heading down the hall here to the Tanren room. Again, it's very busy today at the Kaikan because of the seminar that's taking place. Several hundred karateka are visiting from all over the world, actually. The first room that I'll show you here is called the seminar room. Normally, we'll reserve this if we want to do private training or hold small seminars or even small tournaments in this room. If you come here someday and it's not occupied, just ask the front desk and make sure it's not reserved, because people will reserve these for several hours at a time, the whole day. It's reserved all weekend for this particular seminar. But we can take a quick peek inside the size. All right. We'll head down to the Tanden room. Now, the seminar room is not only used for karateka. The reason I point that out is if you ever come into this room, be advised the floor is a little bit slick. If you're doing kumite or kata, it's not the actual type of training floor that most people are used to. But it works just well. Now, the Tanden room might be, it's open, okay. Here we have the Tanden room or the training room. Tanden is hardening, conditioning, forging, so that's what they call this room here. Very slick on this floor, very nice wood. Once you pay to use the room, you don't have to pay to use the equipment. That's included in the room. 3 makiwaras of different size. This is nice here. Video so we can see what's going on in the main dojo area, which right now there's nothing going on because they're on break. During your tournaments or your seminars, it's nice, you can get a peek at the competition. 3 different heavy bags of your choosing, and over here in the back corner is all of our additional training equipment. Again, once you pay for the fee to come in here, you don't have to pay extra to use the equipment. At one time, this was filled with weapons. Bo, Sai, Tunfo were in here. They've since stored them in a different room because you have to buy the ticket to get them anyway. So I think the staff keeps them down out in the hallway in a storage locker. But this room fills up fast. I've come down here several times on a Saturday thinking I was going to get in, and people will reserve it for their own private training. Sometimes only one person will have it reserved. Sometimes it'll be a whole dojo. You never know. So might pay to call ahead, but if you don't have that option, just pop in. See you again.
Good to see you
Is he
again.
busy?
Yes,
This is the OKILIFE team.
Oh.
I'm going to be partnering with them to do some videos
Oh,
and podcasting in the
okay,
future.
very
We have
good.
a plan to drop about 1 podcast a week.
Okay.
So we're kicking off today with the OKIC.
Okay, the Miguel, he take care of you.
Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
hi. Hi, so.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the archives room. It's very easy to find the archives. You have a few masters over there, but one thing that many people don't know is that more than the archives, there is an actual library.
Yeah.
And the library is interesting because most of the books and documents were given by late Takamiyagi Shigeru Sensei, who is an extremely famous karate master, but also a university professor.
Okay.
And he had gathered a huge collection of documents, and they're not even finished classifying it.
Wow. And so I had heard about this library, I think 2 or 3 times. Different people here on the island, our mutual friend Sam had talked about it. Where is it? I kept going over there by your office, could never find it. So now we know where the library's at, folks. Shall we go in?
Yes, of course. I call it research room.
Research. Okay. So this is the building adjacent to the Kaikan. Looks like it's connected. By a breezeway it is connected, but it's a separate building. Research room.
Hey. So most of the information is part of the Takamiyagi Sensei's collection. Of course, 2/3, maybe more than 2/3 are all in Japanese, but the photo are photos, and there's a lot of information.
Photos are photos, and we know people that translate.
Some do, yes. So basically, I don't think there's so many book missing that were published in the past 50 years. There's a huge collection, and behind his door is the secret room.
Okay.
That's not open to the public,
Okay.
but that's where all the stuff is preserved.
Okay.
Stuff like maybe 1951 demonstration of the Kobudo series that we have on our website
Oh, okay.
that almost
the
nobody
place.
has seen, but so maybe hopefully one day we can
Put it out
have
there.
I'll view it.
So if someone wants to visit, this is not a library where you sign books out. This is where you
No.
come and you sit and
It's
you
a research room.
research
Yes,
here.
yes.
Okay.
So you have to sign. You first ask at the shop if it's not open. Ask that if you can come in, and then you sign your name right here,
Okay.
date and name, and then
Have at it.
have a look at it.
Okay.
Books are here, and here you have newspaper article dating of before World War II. Sometimes you have dates, but those are 1895 books. Of course, it's all Japanese, but for karate people, that's interesting. Sometimes you have. Let me see. Which one? This one. Sometimes you have books like. That's when it becomes interesting.
Wow.
Nagamine
Nagamine
Sensei.
Sensei. So, for those like me that have a difficult time with this, someone's already gone through and actually highlighted. Now, I've obviously pictures, most karateka are going to recognize these individuals, but something that's highlighted here in red, people have already gone through and done the homework, so you can flip through here. We do want to point out that we have permission today to be filming in here. Typically, cameras are not allowed. They don't want people coming here taking pictures of the books. Please respect that when you do come here to visit. If you need help with translations, ask someone and set up an appointment time to come in here and have something translated. But please, out of respect for the people that put the work into this, no pictures. We did get permission for this only today.
Just to give you an idea, all those books are filled with articles, and that's just 1 year of work.
Wow.
That was last fiscal year, because there was actually a researcher within the Karate Promotion Division.
Okay.
1 or 2 actually, and they did their job. So there's many names that people heard about of, not sure if they actually lived or not, and they found articles saying, hey, at least he lived. Was he a master? We don't know, but he lived.
Yep. Wow.
We'll see. There's for another interesting part is that the Karate Kaikan, which is the oldest karate magazine in Japan, ceased to exist, but the owner gave the entire collection.
This
these
was out
books.
of mainland Japan.
Yes, but right after World War II, Okinawa was very still connected to it. Before 1950, karate was, Okinawa was karate. Then after it changed to something different.
Wow.
Not in my eyes, in their eyes.
Yes, yep, understood.
Okay.
Wow. Is there, if I had a question, if I was trying to research a particular sensei or topic or subject, is there someone that I can contact?
For documents within this room, if there's somebody in the room, he could maybe point you to a certain book.
Okay.
But it's a lot of work, so I don't know to which extent.
Okay.
I think the best is to go. There's nobody here to actually help you.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a
translate,
library.
interpret.
There's
No.
not a librarian
It's a
here.
research room, so you have to put the work into
Yep.
the research.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic.
Okay.
Wow. Very special. Now I know where it's at.
For example, karate people know about Chogi, Yoshimura Chogi. That's all the paint work, the calligraphy work he did, but that's the photo. That everywhere on the internet, but now we know from which book they took it.
Wow. Where's the picture of Itosu?
Online. Actually, you have seen the actual.
Yeah.
The school photo.
Yes.
You've seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not the actual one. I saw the one that you put online.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's over here,
So, around the corner from the library is a lovely gift shop. find the products here from Shureido, some of the same ones. However, I will let you in a little secret. If you go to Shureido and there's a particular product you want, like a t-shirt that they don't have your size at their main shop, you can come up here sometimes and find it. Our mutual friend, James Penkovich from the Sato Dojo and Dojo Bar, still has or used to have products here. I don't see him anymore. I'll have to talk.
Maybe he sold the whole thing
He
already.
may have.
Some awamori, and I'll give you a little tip for awamori lovers. Everybody thinks that awamori is pretty the same things, and there's you pour water in it with ice, and that's it, or you drink it straight. But this bottle is different, and I'm not joking. This was made last year to be drunk like people drink vodka. This is a special awamori of 43 degrees that you put in your freezer and it will not freeze. And then you sip it like vodka and it's fantastic. If you put a regular bottle of awamori in your freezer, it's going to freeze and turn to ice. This one, no. And that was the purpose behind the creation of this bottle. So the name Goju Ryu Shorin Yu, which is just design,
Yeah.
but the content is to be drunk like vodka.
Okay.
I know in my freezer I have the bottle for half a year,
Yeah.
and I sip it once and it's not frozen.
Fantastic. So Shorin Ryu. I might have to buy a bottle of this, but I didn't know that. That's awesome. Thank you for
Because
the
it's
explaining.
the information is not there, and when the World Tournament came in, they were too busy preparing to the sale,
Yeah.
and they had no time to actually give information. But I know the salesman for the company that it told me it's not just something you put water in.
Yeah, yeah.
Put it in the freezer.
Fantastic. Here, this is the bottle tribute to the 2018 International Tournament. I have a couple of these at my house. I'm glad to see they're still producing them. I mean, obviously, it's just a label, right? But you can still get these down here. It says limited edition. They've been going now into 2019. Another one that I think was supposed to be limited edition, karate bottle. Very nice box on the outside. Yeah, so
This
you
one
can
is
get
very
your-
That's harmony with the habu ekis, and it's a little sweet, but sipping it is actually very enjoyable. It is a product by Yagi Ippei Sensei, who is
Oh.
grandson to Yagi Metobu Sensei.
Oh, okay. There's a strong connection with Awamori and karate. We might have to do a separate episode on
I
that.
think you can.
Might loosen some people up a little bit.
That's his product too.
Yes,
Ippei Sensei.
the tiles. And of course, you can't go anywhere and be complete on Okinawa without Blue Seal ice cream. Best ice cream there is. Okay, so let's check out the archives, which when this first opened 2 years ago, I can't remember the gentleman that told me this at the time. He was visiting from Hawaii because there's a lot of information about Okinawa karate, of course, in Hawaii, right? And he heard someone call this a museum, and he made the correction. This is not a museum. This is archives. Museum's different. They said the archives, you want to have factual information here. Museum, you can just kind of put interesting knickknacks. This is supposed to be factual information that's been researched. This is real Okinawa karate inside here. So once again, we got permission today to go inside the archives with our camera. Typically, no cameras allowed. The Kaikan has given us permission to go through and take some videos today and some pictures. So,
And before we get in, some people tend to enter this room, walk, look at the beautiful museum, it's a beautiful shurikasa with a sentence, and they always forget to look on the other side. Because on the other side is another result of the research done by the Okinawa Prefecture. This is a 1914 article by Funakoshi interviewing Asato Sensei. It's not the whole complete thing, but those are, it says, and it's even in English, spoken by Asato and documented by Shoto Funakoshi Kichi. So these change regularly.
yeah,
So
these do change regularly. Okay.
have a look because it's usually in English and Japanese.
Fantastic. So for the Shotokan practitioners, you should know this. If you didn't, this was his pen name, Funakoshi's pen name, Shoto. And He didn't name Shotokan. His students did it, but
That's another story.
That's another
So
story.
don't forget to look
That's not
on both
Okinawa
sides, of the entrance.
Okay. So typically when you come in, there's a vending machine around the corner. It's very cheap. Throw your money in there. 310 yen for an adult. If you have a group of 20 or more, they can knock it down to 250. Fantastic. Students, 100 yen. 210 for a high school. Very, very, very reasonable here at the Kaikan. All right, shall we go in? So just like a lot of the soba and ramen shops in Japan, you can come in here, typically buy your ticket. It's vacant right now. I think the staff knows we're here.
And do not forget the audio guide. The prefecture has spent a lot of money translating all the documents, the information in the videos. So yes, and inside the archives.
Yep.
So choose your language, ask, and then you can understand the kanjis.
Questionnaire.
I think it's important to tell people about the two movies. It's not one movie two times, it's two movies in repetition. So always look at the time frame, the time schedule here. There are two movies. One is how karate spread around the world, and the other one about the soul of what karate is, which is kata.
And at this time, the movies are all in Japanese with the English subtitle?
Subtitled in
Subtitled in English. Yeah. And we have one playing right now, so this is probably...
What time is
What
it?
is this one? I don't know. What time
It's
is
11:22.
11:20. So we just started.
You just started there.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, when you start watching a movie, wait for the second one,
Okay.
and then leave, and
Wait
then that's
session.
it.
Small movie theater in here.
身近な生活道具を武器とする工夫を加えながら沖縄空手とともに発展していきました。
My understanding is that the images that we see of the people up here, at least some of them are karate masters of today.
They are all masters.
They're all masters of today.
So the game is to. Oh, I know him. Oh, I know. Oh, that's him.
Yeah. So as we see, obviously not this one, this is computer, but we'll see some of the people doing kata and demonstrating weapons. They are actual karate masters of today.
And most of them are the cream of the cream.
地域ごとの特色を生かした D が生まれます。
About a 20-minute video.
水流は琉球王府に仕えた首里の侍の武術です。内反地を基本の型とする水流の技の特徴。
If you don't, then you don't. You still need to train.
集中して武力を出
Which
す。
is why we're here. Okay.
This one too. Many people pass, but there is actually a huge amount of videos always playing. The total is 96 minutes of movies.
Okay.
It's a very nice way to have a peek at famous dojo and what they're doing it.
Is it okay if I close one door here to make the sound a little? Thank you.
Throughout the archive section, we have these TV screens, so you don't have to all pile into one if you're here with a group of people. They go through all the same information. So if we wanted to look at, yes sir?
And also information in audio guide.
If you're wearing the audio
Yes.
guide. History of karate. The origins of Okinawa karate. Obviously self-explanatory menu to go through and get your information in multiple languages. Some rather historic documents here. We're not going to go, we do have permission to film today, but they did ask us not to put the camera right up to the books. So we're just going to give you a scan to let you know what's inside the archives. various photos that people have seen in Bubishi, different books that are published online, different books that have been published and information that you can find online. But as we walk through, some of the things that stand out that are quite important, the three giants of Okinawa karate, Matsumura, Higaonna, different lineages of what has become the various reviews. And it is, as I said, they don't call it a museum, they call it an archives, but it's very historical. So anyone, even if you're not necessarily a karateka, I think you can come in here and you can learn a lot about Ryukyu history. As we come down here on the wall, chronology of Okinawa history from the 1500s on up basically to present day. Miguel-san, the names on the wall do you know how some of these names are selected, or how all the names are selected, I should say, to be chosen? Key individuals in the history of Okinawa karate is who's on the wall here.
Yes.
An originator of the style, or
Before the Kaikan was created, they worked 2 or 3 years, having 2 committees deciding on what needed to be in the museum and what needed to be shown in the museum, what artifacts, who should be and who should not. I think there were some very high level masters involved with that, a lot of educators, historians. So they tried to give, it's very difficult to know when it started. So some people, for example, Aaron Jiki, the first one, he was supposed to be a karate capable person because in literature he's mentioned and the word T comes in, open hand, or so he was maybe involved, but was he really doing some T stuff, or was he just a good fighter? I don't know. But so they tried to, everything that was in literature, they tried to scan it and give an idea of how it all came in, because the top is Shurite. Karate started in Shuri. So Shurite is the first one, then you have new style, a new system, I would say, Nahao Kumi that comes in after. So gives you an idea of starting around 1500 all the way.
all the way up to us. Yes. Yep, very famous masters on the wall here. All of the had a great influence on us.
And one thing to be mentioned is that I sometimes receive, not recently, but I received in the past, complaint. My master is not on the wall. How come? Say, have you looked at the whole wall? Say, yes, it's not here. And say, have you looked to the left? Over there? He was there. So it really takes the time to look at the whole picture before making a complaint. Of course, everybody cannot be listed from the beginning, so I'm sure that the Okinawa Prefecture will be working on adding, making change, maybe with the Itosu photo, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something will comes in and information will be added. It's not a fixed and dead or done project. It's an always evolving project. But to evolve, you need to be able to amass certain information, not just things that people want to be in. Many people contact us because they have a book or they have a trophy and they want to give it. And say, I think it's a good idea to give it, but it doesn't mean that it would be put in display.
Yeah.
They will keep it, and if one day they do an exhibition about the master, maybe they will use it. If you agree with that, then you can do a donation. The Okinawa Prefecture will analyze, screen it, see if it's valuable, and if it is, they will for sure accept it. Most of the items here have been either donated or leased to be in display by the highest masters on the island. But I was part of the items to be displayed research committee. We had a book like this of people who had information they were thinking about giving away, and people that we knew they had those things and we wanted it in display. And this book became this. So there's still a lot of information, but you have to screen between what is really for sure, some which is not for sure. For example, a collection of bubishi, but what is bubishi and how are you going to actually put on display a bubishi which is maybe not a real bubishi? There's a Chinese bubishi which is over there, but the Chinese bubishi and the Okinawa bubishi are two different things. And then bubishi going to mainland Japan becomes something again different. So it's not an easy thing to, okay, let's put the book. And the book is a book. Where do you open the book? Which page do you open the book? That's also a huge issue. But takes time.
Yeah, it does. Takes time, and that's why this is an archives and not a museum, though. That's the key point. On the wall here, we have the Okinawa Prefecture Intangible Cultural Asset Holders. Looking at this, some of the individuals have passed away. Some of them are still alive today. And it says down here, what is the criteria for certification as an intangible cultural property holder? This is quite important. Sometimes people also wonder, well, why isn't this sensei up there? Why isn't that sensei up there? Maybe some are still being worked on. Of course they are. But here's the criteria, how these individuals, and unfortunately, rather recently,
Tomoyoshi Yuko sensei passed away.
Recently, we lost sensei, so.
He was a fantastic person.
Yeah.
But the Okinawa Prefecture is now working on, or thinking and working on recognizing new cultural asset holder. So I believe that they are screening through a list. Maybe this year, new master will be recognized. This year or next year. I don't know about that.
Stay tuned to okic.okinawa for that information.
One thing that people might not understand is that there is a company managing the building, the Kaikan, but the archives and the special exhibit room is directly managed by the Okinawa Prefecture Karate Promotion Division.
Okay.
So karate researcher within the division manage this room. So at the opening they had different display, and now until September it's a display about Goju-ryu mainly.
Okay.
That's why they had karate uniforms of late master, the more than ever famous statue of Miyagi Chojun's bust that is usually within the Jundokan. So
So this is on loan then from the Jundokan until the end of September.
many Goju people have not access to the Jundokan. So for them it's a privilege.
And then we have the, Miyagi Chojun's actual karate gi. And what I find so interesting about this now is the difference of the style, the design. Now, who made this? This is pre-Shiredo. Is there something in Tokyo actually? So the design of this looks more like a former kendo gi, and the tag on here says Tokyo. This is pre-Shiredo days. It's very worn, hard to see. But what's interesting too is look how thin this obi is. I hate to say this, but I'm going to. I think as the egos expanded, so did the width of the obi.
You think so?
I can say
know,
that.
exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just.
But when you look at the old picture, this is online. It's everywhere in books and online. When you look at this photo, it's not even a belt.
Yeah.
Just
This guy is literally wearing a belt.
But this belt is definitely not this belt.
Right.
And he's knotting it.
Yep.
It's not doing
It's
a
a bow.
karate belt. So.
Yeah. And nowadays people get so worried about that, and
I don't know if you can put everything online, but because it's special.
yeah.
Very special.
So the special, the exhibition room turns over about every
Every
quarter?
6 months.
6 months.
Every 6 months.